Greetings and welcome to In Depth. I'm Dike Rostant. We are speaking to a diva, somebody who just got rewarded for service, and it's almost as though long service. I don't know how because she's looking young. But she has a song that I think people describe as a big tune in terms of reminding us to be grateful, reminding us that we need to look back and see where it is we came from and how many people helped us along that journey. Stacy Sobers Abraham is the person we're going to be speaking with. Stay tuned for that. Thank you for making the time.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, honorary, awardee, all this kind of thing. How does it feel to be honored by Divas, Calypso, Cabaret International?
Can I say it's an honor? You start somewhere and you go through the process and you learn to love and enjoy what you're doing and the people that are around you. And for me, Divas, Calypso, Cabaret has been that joy in this journey, my Calypso journey. You had to end somewhere, and this is why I choose to end at Divas.
And in terms of going through and progressing in that journey, looking at it now, what would you tell that younger Stacy who's now starting out, hot and sweaty, let me know, all kind of thing?
Let me know. I won't change anything, And maybe I will tell her, be a little more focused and a little more resourceful and resilient in the early and push a little harder. Yeah. A little more focused and push a little harder. Yeah, because I just used to let things, fly.
But in terms of letting things fly, there's a line in, actually, let's not even talk about come down from there. Talk about the whole thing. In terms of respecting the tribe. Who came up with the idea? How did you arrive on the song?
It's strange, because my last concert, Crackers and Cheese 5, I had this moment where I just began to talk about long time and all the things that we used to do long time, and your neighbor could have cut your tail, that kind of thing, and you had to take that because, hey, that's your elder. I grew up in a time when I would go by my neighbor and when she beating the children to wash the wares, I get in licks too because I did. And I grew up respecting the elders and that kind of thing. So I had that moment during the show where I started to talk all of that, and I told my husband, I said I want to sing about the tribe and what it was like long time. And we spoke to Maria Bola, who wrote the song about doing that. And her idea was totally different from what I had in mind. But when it meshed together, my idea and what she wrote initially, it was magic.
That's interesting because Joseph Remy, he's talking about there's a big difference between homes in communities versus houses in areas.
Yeah.
And I feel what it is you're talking about because sometimes if you get like some neighbor, you're hoping they don't tell your parents
because
they don't want to know why So and so you get those something? No man, well we go finish sort out the sorrow.
Yeah.
But in terms of that moving forward, and people say about ingratitude worse than witchcraft. Sometimes it feels as though the tribe might be getting a little smaller. Is it that we're looking for bigger tribes? Is it that we don't see what is there, or we easier to forget?
I think a little bit of all of what you said. First, we need to remember what was there before. So we look back. Then we try to grow what we have, because each one teach one. That's where it was a long time. Yes, there's a little bit of everything that you said. We need to remember where we came from and what it was like back then, and teach those that coming up what that was, so that they have that grounding and that tribe feeling,
And even outside of this song, Respecting the Tribe, you would have helped to pay respect to an elder stateswoman in this tribe of Calypsonians, a trailblazer, a pioneer in terms of Calypso rules. Yeah. And I talking about it and my pause reason. So what was that experience like for you?
For me, I use the word honor again to present this work. It's an honor to present this work because I think it was Tiny who sang Give Them the Flowers Now. So, I mean, you talk about them now so that the younger ones know about them and what it is like to emulate these people. So it's an honor for me to put out this work, an honor, absolutely.
And there was a practice session that I believe it was via FaceTime or Zoom or some kind of thing that Calypso Rose was actually taking in the proceedings.
That was so good. Because she cried, she actually cried. She actually cried and she was so happy that we were doing the work, and it was just a joy. It was a joy for me because I've worked with her before. The tent would have honored her a couple of times and we would have worked on stage with her. And for me to portray her in this light, it's picturesque. I don't know what to describe. The feeling is I don't know what to describe.
And do you feel a sense of, I almost want to say responsibility too, because yes, they're honoring you at Divas for the work that you have put in, but looking at the way it seems, because everyone that we spoke with said that there's this level of embrace that you, Auntie Karen, who say Mommy Karen, put around them when practice going on. You're telling songman that they need some more levels in this monitor. What is that like? Is that sense of responsibility? Is it more work to you because you have your song to do?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. One, because it's one unit. When I came, and I met Karen before Divas, because we sang at Calypso before, and she embraced me then. And all the pointers she could have given me before I go on stage, and I took it all in. And then we ended up at Divas in 2004. And it was just growth in the relationship. And not just her alone, all the full cast, there was Tigress, a lot of the older heads. And they nurture you, and I learned from that. So it's nothing for me to extend that to the younger ones. Make my song old.
No.
Yeah,
just have a little more. You just have a little more experience.
And they look forward to you grooming and guiding them, and that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for.
And is it a matter of, because every year there's a theme, and there have been years that you've sung on the theme, there have been years that you have done something a little different. Do you feel, how long is the lead time so you know, okay, well, this happening, let me try to prepare a song for it like this?
It's not always a mix and match. It's coincidence most times. Because we would have whatever the theme is, whoever we're honoring in the year. The songs doesn't necessarily have to match up to that. So this one is absolute coincidence, right? But it's more like a feeling. Whatever the season feels like, that's what comes out.
And in terms of feeling, what has the audience been feeling thus far when you've been performing and you're sharing this reminder with them?
I think they appreciate because they could relate and they know what I'm speaking about, so they appreciate it. And you feel that during the song, with their applause and their cheers, and when the song is done, tremendous applause, the encores, so. Yeah, and I'm glad that they're receiving it the way that they are, because that's what it's meant to be. Give them a reminder.
And so you spoke about how it is you got the song. There was a feeling, and then there was a writer, and then there was a meet and place, a meshing. How do you go about choosing and saying, okay, well, this is the song I want to do? It had to come up in cheese and crackers?
No.
Oh.
No. Usually, the brains behind the operation is my husband, Japan. The brains behind the operation, because before Carnival, I sure he don't have an idea for next year already. But this year was me. This year was all me. After Crackers and Cheese, this year was all me. But usually he comes up with the ideas, and we talk about it. Who you think should write it? We study the work and who we feel would be the best person to pen it, and seek out the person. And once they're willing to do it, yeah. And as he said, he's more prescriptive. So he just tell you what he wants to hear, and he allows the creative juices to flow. He allows the song to be the author's song, like that. Yeah.
And do you think that you would have been able to do a song like this justice a little earlier in your career? And I say that because sometimes it feels as though to give something treatment, you have to go through. Sometimes you hear somebody sing and it sounds like they pick cotton, or it sounds like they went through what they're singing about.
So the thing is, with a song, in order to put across a song for the audience to feel it, you have to internalize it. Even if you never went through it, you think about a situation, how would I have felt if I was really going through it? You put yourself in a situation. And, you know, it's like acting. It's like acting. So you have to feed yourself whatever the song tells, the story the song tells, you feed yourself that. And then you'll be able to regurgitate that on stage.
Well, we want to thank you for feeding yourself that. We want to thank you for the work that you've been doing. And even like the way that you say you feel honored to be honored, getting your flowers, like Tiny said, while you're still around to receive them. So we want to thank you for the work that you've been doing. And we want to thank you for tuning in. So stay with us, we come back with more. Welcome back. I'm feeling like Oliver Twist because I just asking for more and more and more. We're very happy to be able to have a little sit down with Karen Eccles, ladies and gentlemen. And first of all, let me add my congratulations, as well as just asking, how does it feel to be honored in the way that you were by Divas?
I was really humbled by that. You know, it's no big thing for me. It's just that the appreciation, yes, that's important. I just appreciated the fact that they appreciated me.
Mm-hmm. Because it's one thing to say, okay, well, you're doing what you're doing and somebody says thanks, but in terms of like to formalize it this kind of way?
Yes. Formalizing it, yes. It means that other people would know that they also appreciate us, you know, not just the tent members, but the people who normally would come to the tent, you know, they would also know that the people who have been there for years contributing, that the Divas appreciate them.
But in terms of talking about for years contributing, 2004 to 2024, tell me about some of those things that you really say, yeah man, this is a memory that I mightn't write it down, but it's written down in my brain.
But 2004 is very memorable for me because I did not enter the NWAC National Calypso Queen for the 8 years prior to that, right? And I just had this vision. Lady B had promised me the last year she sang in Guy's house with me. She said, next year, Karen, I'm writing 2 songs for you. But then she died before that, and it's as if God sent her to give me these 2 songs. And I got up, I wrote it, and I said, you know what? I'm going back into the screen show. And it's with those 2 songs that I won the crown in 2004. That, to me, is very memorable.
And looking at that and just getting that song, because you know sometimes people say, well, they work on it, or they have 4 or 5 people writing it, as opposed to saying, okay, well, it comes straight shot. Because it was literally, I promise you, and the fact that I physically here don't mean that you're not getting it.
Right.
So it really...
That's how it felt. I promise you, but I didn't forget you. So I'm coming back to give you this gift. And that's what she said. I'm bringing this gift for you. Get up. And I just got up and I wrote it. But it took some time in putting together, you're changing words, that one ain't singing good, you know, that kind of thing. But, you know, it pulled through.
And I guess part of that is the love that was shared.
Yes.
And I hear somebody singing a tune called Love Conquers All. So tell me a little bit about it now.
Well, this is another one of those visions that I had, because truly I feel that we have lost the love that we once shared with each other. I think the world really needs to go back to loving, you know. We have lost that. And I just wanted to get this through to others, and as God would have it, again, I got the same effect. And I just got up and I started writing, just writing. I made some changes, yes, but I mean, everything that I get in my dreams and stuff like that, I always cherish it because I feel like God is sending a message for me to give to somebody else. It may not be for everybody, but I may be able to calm a heart, change something about somebody that's going through whatever it is. So I just wanted to say that, yeah, we could go back to loving each other just as we used to do.
And speak to that a little bit because it feels as though you're somebody who consciously walks by faith as rather than just sight. Or there are different types of seeing.
Yes, because with this story, every time I say it, they say maybe you should go back to singing gospel because I came out of a family of gospel singers, pastors, preachers, and I'm the only person that sing Calypso. And my mom used to say, I don't like Calypso, but I'm going to support you, but I don't know why in this thing. Go back and sing for the Lord. But I always feel that I don't sing any song that is degrading and stuff like that. And if I have a message to carry and it means that it will touch a heart, I want to do that. I just want to do that. I don't have to win any crown with those things. I just want to know that I could change something in somebody's life.
And in terms of even changing things in the life of your divas around you, we've had conversations who will say Auntie Karen, who will say Mommy Karen. So what is that like being able to be there for these ladies who are coming in, be it something like, okay, well, let me touch your hair like this, or let me tell the song man, they need to hear a little more in this monitor. What is it like that for you?
Basically, that's just who I am. Like just now, my niece is doing chorus, and he said, Auntie Karen, you're always waiting to sing last. I say, maybe I'm a bully. I just wait and no, but that's just me. I like to see things going right with others. I just like to see people happy. Maybe that's my journey. Maybe that's my purpose in life. My daughters are doing the same. Mommy, gosh, small in your heart or something now. The heart too big, but that's just who I am. I can't change that.
And one of the things that I personally don't want to see you change is that presence that you have. Because like even when I talk about the presence this year, I remember somebody talking about when you're dancing, any moment that you're on stage, if you take a photo, you can use that as the muse for a sculpture.
Right.
And that is something that I get with you, this regal sort of energy in addition to the music. So that's part of it?
Yes. Because dancers are supposed to be upright. Yeah. Your presence is supposed to be seen.
But even the messages that you have make me feel to enlarge my space that I'm in, or if I'm in some sort of slackness, kind of hide from the light.
Like
well, all right then. I take a number.
Yeah, the song is just like them. I say, look, Auntie Karen, come here. Auntie Karen, and I say, Auntie Karen, it's you have a soul. It's a love. It's really a love. Yeah.
And is it, and are there changes, things that you see a little different? Some of the people who are coming in, the way that you're wrapping your arms around them, what is that like?
What I have seen this year is that most of the new singers, the divas, they just, if they were there years, they just gravitated to everything we were about, It's a love, it's really a serious love.
How proud are you of them?
I just had that conversation with Naomi tonight, and I told her, I said, we have made history. And she said, I'm not sure. I said, yes. I said, and I love numbers, because with numbers, I can always go back to the Psalms and read them. And I said, in 2004, after 8 years, I went back to the Queens. It was NBAC's 20th anniversary, and they took 20 women to judge that show. I said 20 years after, when we are celebrating our 20th anniversary, you are 20 years and you won. Isn't that marvelous? Isn't God good?
You say that you're the only person sing Calypso, but I don't think you've, let me use the word stray, but I don't think you've diverted that much from the path, you know.
No.
It's just the expression
Yes.
is a little different.
Yes, it is.
And did mommy and other family members get to that point as opposed to just saying, okay, well, you're doing this a little different, you know, I don't support it, but I support you. But did they start to sing a different song?
My brother and my sister-in-law, my brother Solomon and my sister-in-law Cheryl, they are the ones who kept me going. Kind of my two daughters, Termisha and Khadijah, they have supported me through this, even though at times they would say, my younger daughter used to say, Mommy, you ain't tired placing in them those spots you get. Why you don't stop singing Calypso? I said, no, why? I said, you know, the other day I was walking in town and a woman said to me, I know you, but I want to thank you for the song that you did. I think it was Mother's Response I had done that year. And she said, what I couldn't say, you said it for me. And I want to thank you. So sometimes we may be doing things and we don't even know that it's touching our life. And maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. Touch lives.
I want to thank you for touching our lives and touching the set for 2 seconds.
Yes.
And on behalf of the entire TTT News team, we want to thank you. This has been In Depth with me, Dike Rostant. We just had a conversation with Karen Eccles. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.